Hello and welcome to Critical Tumble, where a bunch of long-time friends and nerdy-ass Tumblr users, mostly, transcend geography through the power of Discord to play Dungeons and Dragons, and critically fumble a lot. We are without Ben today because he is at the mercy of PG&E. I don't entirely understand what's going on with that, but something about they have to shut things down for maintenance because fires.
Wind, fires, potential for more fires because falling power lines.
See, this is why I'm glad all our power lines and everything else are underground. But then again, you live in like the earthquake capital of the world, so fuck it. I don't know. Anyway, despite that, I had a minor chat with him yesterday. We can continue exactly as I planned. You really shouldn't be having that reaction to this smile, Ethan. You really shouldn't. Yeah, see, that's more the reaction that you should be having. When we last left the Cupcake Coterie, they were Perseth was having some one-on-one time with his little big sister, because if for no other reason, some of them were planning a trip into town, and there was still a little bit of concern about maybe I don't want to be a dragon going into that just yet. I will risk it eventually, but for right now, I don't know what's going to happen next, and bonding time. Little tiny dragonborn. Ava and Hazel checked the Golden Dale treehouse. Faraday's gonna love that place, by the way. Only to find Rick, the Wyvern Rider, being effectively held hostage by several of Golden Dale's children, who were a little bit appalled at finding a total stranger in their safe space. Neither Hazel nor Ava decided to ask why they were all there and where they had originally come from, which they would live to regret when Alice, Remy, Darwin, and Nye snuck off to the outskirts of town to see what was going on there and found the shrine under siege and the Golden Bough on fire. So that was a thing. They spent the rest of the lead up till lunch the next day getting some information from other sources, picking up some shinies, and making a plan to effectively find the rest of the Goldendale Guard, which apparently went running when, hopefully to regroup when the Crown's Guard decided to properly lay siege to Goldendale, and get them to coordinate with the Hearth halflings in a sort of a late night raid on the siege of the Goldendale Shrine. That was about where they'd left it. They hadn't actually gone to find anybody yet, but they're probably doing the lunch thing first. Veruseth does kind of get summoned, more than likely by Alice. She does that kind of thing. Just sort of stands off to one side where, far enough away from where Veruseth and Faraday are sitting around, probably outside because, it's cold, but they don't care. To be noticed, but not enough to be intruding, because Alice is kind of hard to miss. If she wants to be noticed, she'll be noticed.
Yeah. All right. I'll give Faraday a hug and head over to.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Alice just sort of turns to Faraday. It's lunchtime for everybody, kid, and unfortunately we need to borrow your monkly brother over here. Okay, I wanted another look at the kitchen anyway. She and Skylar are getting along just fine, aren't they? From the stories I've been hearing. Yeah, just to give you a brief breakdown on what's been going on. Shit got fucky in Goldendale. Shrines under siege, taverns on fire. there's a whole bunch of kids that are apparently okay in like world's biggest treehouse or something. I don't know, and they've got our wyvern rider friend. They haven't tied him up anymore, so that's okay.
Okay.
We're working on plans and shit. So wanna I'm teaching Hazel to cook, so it's now time to be teaching her an old northern specialty. You might approve. And turns around and walks towards Fort Cupcake.
Follow.
Yeah, you're about halfway to Fort Cupcake when Alice just kind of vanishes. At which point, a moment later, you have enough time to blink and go, wait a minute, what the fuck? And then so do you. You wind up on your own, standing in what looks like a very well-appointed, sort of sitting room-ish kind of area. Kind of like a waiting room in some of the fancier places you were in Equitas. You know, velvet seats, mostly in deep green. Something that resembles a wet bar up against one wall. No door.
Just basically that silent looking around.
we'll leave Froseth doing that for a little while. I just need to double check notes here. Oh, of course, because it's in the other. So it was... Yeah, it's a little while before you notice anything particularly amiss, but it doesn't normally take Alice that long to collect people.
Are we all together?
You're back in Fort Cupcake, waiting for the teaching of lunch cookery to begin. So Hazel is probably bounce,
Yep.
and then wait a minute.
Is it me or has she been a while?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Should we be worried?
Remy sticks
Without-
her head out the door.
Given our
Around.
luck,
At which point, Remy and Hazel.
oh, but that's not good.
One thing at a time.
Wait. Hold on a sec. Hazel, Alice, Remy?
And
They've pre-vanished?
Alice, Froseth, Remy, Hazel. So no, it's probably not a godly thing unless there's shit about Froseth you have no idea about.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, while they're
Well, while you're in a panic, well, I'm
well,
panicking.
I'm trying not to.
Remy ends up in a rather plush receiving room, no windows or doors, but Froseth. And yeah,
Right.
for Froseth, Remy
Sits
just
down very quickly. Does she have all her stuff?
by this point she would have formed the the bond with Scale Splitter. So she's not actually carrying her sword or anything at this point, but she can summon Scale Splitter if she needs to. Pact Blade, you know.
Right. Remy summons her sword,
Okay.
looks around.
So yeah, you've got Remy being Remy effectively.
Yep.
Yeah.
Our words.
Roseth, how long have you been here?
Couple of minutes.
Couple minutes. Nothing's happened yet.
Okay. Remy is so the completely doorless, windowless room.
Doorless, windowless. There's a wet bar against one wall and a lot of comfy furniture.
Remy is going to divine sense.
Okay. there's a celestial fiend. There's not celestial fiend or undead anywhere in the immediate vicinity. This unfortunately is a significant limitation here because there's a fair bit of other shit that could like pour you out of nowhere, but there's definitely no celestial fiends or undead anywhere in the immediate vicinity.
Looks around again. Y'all said.
Nothing has changed yet. Okay, while that's happening, Hazel has popped into existence in a similar room. In point of fact, obviously not the same room. Who's in there is Alice, who is sitting, arms crossed, one leg folded over the other, the foot that's more in the air, just sort of tapping. Oh, good, I have company.
What is going on?
I have no the fuck idea, so I'm just going to sit here until something decides to make sense. Nothing
I'm
has
just going to sit
attacked.
down immediately where I am. Like, where I'm standing, I'm sitting down.
Okay, you're sitting on the floor where there. The furniture's not going to eat you. I know this is a concern in our world, but I poked it. It's okay.
Very carefully going to make my way over to a piece of furniture near LSA and sit on that.
Reach, pat, pat, pat. I note there is no Furseth. He was right behind me.
And then here.
And then I was here, and then there was you. Not that I am displeased to see you, but the fuck.
Accurate! I don't know what's happening!
Breathe. Hazel, do you have any way of getting any sense of what's happening?
It's just sitting there kind of vibrating.
I will take that as a no, then. At which point Alice breaks into a very tuneful rendition of 99 bottles of beer on the wall. Breaks off in the middle of 99 bottles of beer. I figure that if I annoy somebody enough, we will get answers. If one of the bottles should happen to fall, 98 bottles. Ava and Darvin.
I am like literally on hands and knees on the floor, patting around the floor where Hazel was, going, "What the frick was that?"
Darling, they're not there.
And as he,
Smack, smack,
Calm
smack,
down.
smack.
and in the middle of the schmacking, he's gone, and in front of Furseth and
Oh, for God's sake.
in front of Hazel and Alice, Darvin is just now patting on a really soft green rug. Oh,
What?
look! They put the bards in one place.
Well, go over to the spot where he disappeared, see if there's anything, like,
And
if he
you-
hits something
And
or not.
as you peer, you are Furseth and in the company of Furseth and Remy.
Okay, that rug is new.
Look up, dipshit.
Oh, hi. Okay, well that answers. Well, sort of. At
It
least,
answers nothing!
well, I know where you went. Sort of. I don't know
No.
where we went. Wait, what?
What is going on?
Well, you two aren't hearing each other.
Yeah, one group at a
you're
time.
Yeah, it's sorry.
Remy just looks at Ava and then returns her attention to looking around the room.
Oh, great! Ava's ended up with the two that say nothing.
Can I roll investigation?
You can roll investigation. You're poking around the room, and it's a very good wet bar, and very good furniture, and there are no doors and no windows, and nothing of that type. And there is, I mean, it's apparently a completely closed room. If you've ever played The Sims, you know how you can sometimes make a really nice room, and then you just remove the door. It's kind of like that.
Remy sighs very impatiently.
So yeah, there's Ava with the two people who say absolutely nothing. Does she want to
No,
try?
and Remy casts her mage armor.
Anyone want to fill me in here?
The casting at this moment does not work.
Remy tries to cast it again.
Oh, great.
Still does not work.
Okay. From my point of view, I was following LSA. She disappeared. Then seconds later, I was here. Then Remy's shown up, and now you've shown up.
You see any other than that?
That's all I got.
Wonderful. What's that look, Remy?
What did you say?
What's that look, Remy?
Hey, Remy. Remy tries to cast light.
Nope.
Oh. Does he
I
do like?
can't.
Does she do like hand gestures?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to do
Well,
her thing.
she would have done the same for mage armor actually. So you see, she's trying to cast. She's
Oh, great.
got her sword in her hand. So
Magic doesn't work. Wonderful.
Magic doesn't work.
a voice from seemingly nowhere goes, "We are actually trying to conserve your abilities for a more useful moment. Please sit down, relax, and avail yourself of the facilities."
Remy glares up at the voice.
Yeah, same. She's like,
Meanwhile, basically, Alice has grabbed Darvin by back of the belt, back of the shirt. Yoink! So he's standing up.
Okay, so Hazel went poof,
And she's
and then
here.
I went.
And hello.
Well, I didn't see you go poof. I'm assuming you went poof, but I didn't.
You are failing at logic. I fail at logic, not you.
Actually, no, that's not quite true because well, who do we know that can plane shift? Because we know what that is, kind of. So, like, because we heard about it, this is probably that.
yeah.
We know a lot of people that could plane shift, just not at a remove. You notice who else is missing?
Nye.
So, either Green Dragon Mom has a shit sense of humor, which is a probable no.
Yeah.
Or Nye's patrons have a shit sense of humor.
Which is what I was going for.
Far more likely.
Good, we're all on the same page.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like this book. Can I return it to the library now, please?
Hopefully it's a novel and not a pamphlet.
I'm not sure if that's better or worse.
Pamphlet means we die sooner.
Again, not sure if that's better or worse than this goddamn.
At which point, voice from absolutely nowhere, please lower your voice. That is actively painful. But thank you for stopping the other bard from singing. Please avail yourself of the facilities. We will be with you shortly. And Alice just at the ceiling.
I look like I've gone, but I'm going hypersonic, so no one else can actually hear it.
Hand over Hazel's mouth.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah,
both.
Yeah, both. Breathe, Hazel.
At which point, and she's glancing up at the ceiling again. I hope you're getting your entertainment out of this bullshit. Eva, Remy, and Froseth.
Very irritated.
Kira, this actually comes from in the room, a sort of I think Remy may have seen the herald of Naya's patrons. She saw him dressed in white, little creepy-looking 9-year-old human boy. Now he's dressed in some significant finery. Greetings.
Remy whirls about and points her sword at him.
Oh, please. You can stick me with it if it makes you feel any better. It won't do anything.
We never saw him, I don't think.
No,
Or
but
did we
you're
forget?
seeing Remy's reaction.
You know this guy? Or kid? Or whatever it is?
A little less of the it, if you don't mind.
What are we doing here?
Waiting.
For what?
Your turn.
We can't just wait here.
We...
Oh, don't worry. Your time of waiting will soon be over. It's simply the opening acts.
For what? Waiting for what?
The tourney.
What is the
What even
turning?
means?
There was payment due. You are champions of my lord and lady's champion. You will be tested. You will be entertainment. We need to know that the champions of our champion are adequate.
I ever mentioned any of this to you two? I thought not.
I mean, I assume Nye wouldn't have known about this.
I guess probably not.
We
What sort of entertainment are we talking about?
It is a tourney.
have things we need to do in the world. We can't afford to sit here
Then
and wait.
Well, don't worry. The opening acts will be finished soon, and then your team will go and the other team will follow. And assuming you perform adequately, you're free to go.
Assuming.
I don't like to make assumptions of my lord and lady's toys.
We are not toys. Thank you very much.
You should see the world from my perspective sometime. You'd find it quite enlightening. You see, I believe your dragonborn friend is possibly the most intelligent of you. He seems to understand that silence and politeness might be the correct way to ensuring that we are as helpful as possible in your approach to this tournament. Which means, the various bits of the special bits, Froseth's bracers of defense, the sandals, his comma, just appear in this kid's hands. He walks over, presents them to Froseth. A bow that's more polite than anything particularly deferential. He has no deference to any of you.
Froseth will take the items and start putting them on.
And looks at the two of you.
Remy glowers at him silently.
Looks at Ava.
Just sort of same, but more like cold.
Looks over at Remy. You're amusing. And your armor and shield clunk at your feet.
Remy very restrainedly keeps herself silent and puts on her armor.
And yeah, your shield is there, by the way. Looks over at Ava. I'm not sure where to place my bet with you. And your red dragon skin armor, your bow, your quiver, your dragon tooth knife clunk at your feet.
Thank you.
Perhaps I won't bet against you. Please, arm and armor yourselves. And is gone.
She has lots of expletives in her mind, but we did not say. But she's grumbling a bit as she gets ready, though.
Any other bits of commentary or...
Remy tries to cast light again to see if she can do it.
Nope. At which point, the
Okay.
herald turns back up again. You really don't want us to let you do that.
We just have
Incidentally,
to hope it works in whatever entertainment thing we're supposed to be having.
Sir Dragonborn, as something of an added bonus, there's a small gnome girl in your home who found some things I believe you may have forgotten about. And she made them into something particularly interesting. She said she was making them for the Dragon Man because it would cheer Skylar up. And hands over a set of gloves made for Dragonborn. One is bright red and almost seems to be giving off smoke. One is blue with the fingers trending to white. The tips of the fingers are cut off to accommodate his claws. These are thermo gloves. While wearing these gloves, you may choose to add either +2 cold damage or +2 fire damage to your unarmed attacks. With the red glove, as a touch action, you can ignite flammable material. Blue glove, as a touch action, you can freeze up to a 10-foot cube of water, provided that there are no creatures in it. The water unfreezes after 1 hour, or if more water is frozen. And twice a day, steam cloud. You can clap the two gloves together and release a 20-foot sphere of steam centered on you. All creatures within 5 feet of you suffer 2 fire damage and must roll a strength save DC 15 or be knocked prone. The steam cloud heavily obscures the area for 10 minutes, though a moderate wind or stronger can disperse it. I'll give you the, I'll type that all out for you later,
Okay.
but it's one of my,
Ooh.
Sparkly new cards!
Yay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it will occur that you guys had a cloak of frost that was from Edwina's that you completely forgot about, and a cloak of fire resistance from Sweetwater and Sisters that you completely forgot about. So I figured that Darvin just dumped everything of cloth onto Xana and said, "Do things with it," and that's what she did. So yeah, Remy and Ava just see first of, as with most magical items, he gets a vague idea that yeah, this one is hot and this one is cold, and I can make up my mind whether these are like my comma, except I can swap between, and it's for when I punch things. I need to hug Xana all the hugs. Okay. At which point, too much. For all 6 of you, welcome to His and Her Majesty's Autumn Tourney. we have particularly interesting entertainments for you this evening. His and Her Majesty's champion has champions of his own, and they are dragon slayers of some renown. We introduce them to you in teams of 2, as a demonstration of what will stand between us and the spawn of Tiamat. I present to you, as our opener, Remy Crestwind, Froseth of Rhymehook, and Avelaine Vanadar. And the 3 of you, put you in first. You poof out of comfy reception area, armed and armored. And for Hazel, Darvin, and Alice, one wall shimmers and starts more or less projecting what's going on here. Though it's clear it's not a window or anything you can port to. But those 3 appear in a kind of a grubby earth clearing surrounded by some nasty looking dead tree and thorn branches. Our hunters have obtained some fine specimens from the brood that hunts the outskirts between Baronsveer and Equitas. Before they can begin to kill the roots, they need to hack their way through some of the greener sprouts as well. And porting into being around the arena are 3 small-ish. Hang on. Crap, I knew I'd forgotten something. Black, blue. Small compared to what you're used to. They class as medium. Kind of awkward looking in that puppy kind of way, but also really, really angry looking young blue dragons. Oh shit! At least they have weapons. Is Alice's predominant comment.
Oh, and we're not. Oh, jeez. Oh boy.
Save it. We're probably next. And given my reputation, what do you think we're gonna get? Just shut up, watch, cheer them on. And I would like you all 3 of you, to roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Uh,
Oh jeez. 10.
12.
So don't worry, they're only babbies. Babbies with sharp teeth and lightning breath, but babbies, regardless.
About how big did you say they were?
They're medium, so they fill the 5 feet space.
Right. So they're small, but sort of still.
They're baby dragons. They're
Right.
they're wormlings.
Right.
basically. So let me see. What do we? Oh, you guys are boned.
That no.
No, but it's true because 2 of them go before you, and that's with a dex of 0. Well, actually, that makes it easy. You went in order from the most to the least. Okay. If you do not stop, I will punch you. Can I please remind you that that is my girlfriend in there?
Trying to. Sorry, germ on.
They can't see you. Just do it quietly.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Babby number 1 is actually closest to Ava, so could you make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Coming up, saving throw, you said?
Yes, I did.
Oh, go. Great stuff. Oh, 24.
You are actually fine. Well, I say fine. You take half damage on the lightning that it has spit at you, which is
Oh, goody.
8 points of lightning damage as it spits lightning in a line at you. It basically just about misses Furseth. Speaking of, can Furseth actually no, because it does actually get another attack. So that failed. Trump, and yeah, you basically manage to dodge the lightning and then look up and notice that it's charging at you. You do thankfully manage to get out of the way of that as well. It's just sort of dodging this
Well,
basically horse-sized dragon baby that's coming up against you. Furseth, can you give me a dexterity saving throw, please?
24.
That seems to be a popular number, so you take...
Nothing, because I have evasion.
Ah, yes. Okay, so he manages to... it's actually really impressive watching him just sort of manage to time his jump so he's up in the air for as long as it passes directly underneath him, and then... What's your AC?
18.
Yeah, unfortunately you land in just about enough time for this thing to clamp its jaws into your arm. Dealing 8 points of piercing damage plus 3 points of lightning damage. I rolled and I got the absolute average in both cases.
Okay.
Remy, these 2 are getting mauled or attempted mauled, and there's been lightning everywhere.
Okay. Remy steps here, and she's going to swing. Well, she's going to cast Hex and Divine Smite at level 2 as she swings.
Okay. Roll for it.
23.
Okay, so that's rolling a con save. Okay, so it takes half the damage of that, so roll damage for everything else. Okay, so that's 2. Fuck it. That's 23, 24, 27. I should not play this game, I'm bad at maths. Okay, that has done it a significant owie. Apparently, unlike wyverns, this one does take the, Oh, wait a minute, 1d6 each. Shit. Okay, hang on.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Fire, ice, that's 3. Lightning. Poison. Rolled really low for everything else. So, yeah, it just... But you have managed to take over half its hit points in a single swing, so you have fucked it up.
And she swings again.
Go forth. That, in point of fact, misses. It's been hit by it once and clearly doesn't want it to happen again, so it's just kind of managed to swipe away the blade before it comes down too hard, so snapping at your arm.
Okay, and that's it.
Versith.
Okay.
There's a very wounded dragon in your face.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Although I am wondering whether or not, given that you've now got 3 things of moderate ow, you have things. I'm just reminding you about your tats.
Yeah,
Just making
I
sure.
was thinking exactly that.
Well, I had to give you the opportunity
No.
to use them sometime.
Yeah, I think let's do that. I've still got 2 uses on those, so Steel Wind Strike.
Do we?
I believe we said we'd use my unarmed attack.
Yes, we did. I'm just
for
trying to
that.
remember spell card for that because it's been a while since you used it.
I need teleportation nonsense. Let's do this.
Choose up to 5 creatures you see within range. Make a melee attack against each target on
Yeah,
a hit. 60-10 force damage.
Okay.
You can then teleport to an unoccupied
Yeah,
space.
I've got the I typed it up here because unfortunately it's not one of those. So where are you starting?
I'll start with the bottom one and work my way up.
What's that one?
Yeah.
Okay, go forth.
So I'll just use my unarmed button here.
So that definitely hits. I think you're gonna have to just roll a
Yeah.
60-10. You have almost completely killed the one that is menacing Ava. It's hanging on with 1 fucking hit point.
Wow. Okay, the one right in front of me and Remy then.
Like, oh god, that's okay.
So that's double the dice, right?
Double what the number on the dice ends up being, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you just killed that one stone dead. So Remy is sort of dealing with this baby dragon, and then all of a sudden, Furseth basically puts a fist through its skull. And
That last one's a miss.
yeah, that one definitely misses. So where are you going to land?
I'll land right beside that last one, just underneath.
Okay, so yeah, all of a sudden there's this blur. There's one dead, one nearly dead, and Ava, you are looking at a horribly badly wounded miniature dragon.
She's eating this shit.
And you have no idea what just happened. You just saw silver blur, and the one in front of you was nearly dead. The one over there that was menacing Remy on your other side now has a dragonborn fist-shaped hole in the back of its head, and now he's over there.
Do I have my dagger, or do I just have my bow?
No, I did say you had everything: your
Alright,
armor,
right,
your
right.
dragon
Just
tooth
checking.
bow, your dragon tooth
Just-
dagger.
Just checking. Well, I'm too close to the bow, so I guess the dagger.
Roll your attack.
Uh-huh. 20.
I'm not sure it's entirely reasonable to make you roll damage at this point, but by all means.
I mean, I kind of feel bad for the bit thing, but 6.
How do you want to do this?
Well, pull out my dagger. Sorry, buddy.
Anywhere in particular you're hitting? I'm imagining through the
Somewhere
eye.
just
at this
killed
stage.
it quickly.
Yeah,
Somewhere just killed it
through
quickly.
the eye and into the brain. Just
Yeah.
Roseth and Remy see her put the palm of her hand on the pommel just to give it some extra woomph. Of course, you drag it out and cover it in vitreous fluid, blood, and bits of brain, but. And now it's this one's turn, and it's not pretty. Okay, because yeah, this one's gone. This one's gone.
Yep.
And first us in front of the one that's just watched you. You killed my brothers! And it's now going to spit lightning at you.
Yep.
Please make me a dex save.
25.
And you still take 0 damage, so you watch him somersault over the encounter calculator said that this would be hard. I am just saying. But it's going to follow up with an attack. And yes, is actually going to succeed in biting you. For
Okay.
another 3 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
One and two are dead. Remy! I take it that you transferred the hex rather hurriedly
Yes,
over
you
to
will.
the last one standing.
Yeah, she uses her bonus action to put Hex on the last one, and
Okay,
she runs up and swings.
by all means.
Or maybe not.
It's getting wise to this shit now. The second
She swings
swing.
again. There we go.
Roll damage. That's 10.
There we go.
Holy crap. So 10, 19, 25. Saving throw. Succeeds. So that's 25, 26, 28, 29, 31, 33. Okay, it's looking in particularly rough shape. Furseth.
I'm just gonna use some of my normal attacks.
Okay. Comma or unarmed?
Start with the comma for my regular attacks.
Okay.
19.
Roll damage. Okay, it's looking even more in significant pain.
Okay. Second attack.
That misses.
Misses. Okay, I'm going to key point to use Flurry of Blows.
Okay.
Unarmed. 15.
Misses. It's got some pretty tough
14
hide.
misses.
It's got some pretty tough hide and is managing
Yeah.
to bat you off with wings. Ava.
Can I shoot with them?
Yes, you can. As long as you don't roll a 1, you're fine.
Right.
They'd have to be very far away to be safe if you rolled a 1.
Right. Okay. Well, I will pull out my bow. I guess that misses.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're trying for a bit high so as not to reach them and misjudging a bit. Second attack?
15. Thanks. Stop moving.
It's actually going to move over there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Yeah. And in absolute panic, it has managed to recharge its lightning breath. So, if Remy and Ava could please make me...
Do I get an opportunity to
trigger an
attack
attack
for moving away?
Oh, yes, of course you do. Go ahead. I was wondering about that, but... Okay, roll damage. Actually, no, it doesn't do that at all, because how do you want to do this?
Thanks, Rosa.
Just
That was very
like
good timing.
under the jaw.
Yeah, you sort of watch it swig away with that look that you've seen a couple of times now already, and just, nope, crunch under the jaw. Your fist with its shiny new gloves does come out dripping of well, your comma does come out, so dripping
Yeah.
of brains and other fluids. And from someplace you can't see, there is a significant amount of applause. Not all of it seems to be coming from humanoid hands, but you can't actually.
Can we see any spectators?
Nope. As I was
Okay.
saying, if
Sorry.
you listen, this isn't just you. This happens a lot. You interrupt my descriptions, and then you miss things.
Mhm.
No, you cannot see any spectators, but you can hear the applause. Ladies and gentlemen, our opening act, the Slayers of Dragon Spawn. We'll allow them to clean themselves up somewhat and give a short recess, at which point we will bring out our second team. And you three find yourselves back in the comfy, well-appointed sitting room.
Remy
17.
grumbles quietly.
Do you think that means Alice and the others?
Probably.
I guess so.
Meanwhile, in the other room, sort of, that was hot. She's actually availed herself of the wet bar and just... Well, I mean, they're not going to drug us if they expect us to actually perform, so fuck it.
Yeah. Well, if they got anything not too terribly strong, because I do need my wits at least a little bit. I will drink to that victory.
There's wine. It's not
That works.
not too hefty. So yeah, but you see why? No, at least part of why.
Yes. Yes, I do.
That and she is like the most adorkable dork that ever dorked. Love her to pieces.
To Remy, Froseth, and Ava. Hey!
To the Slayers of Dragonspawn.
Just prolonged squeaking noise.
Alice pours another cup of wine, shoves it at Hazel. Will you just drink and shut up? Hopefully it'll calm her down a little.
So I guess. Wait. Well, I guess we
Well,
wait.
they gave them their weapons, unless they're thinking of challenging us by having us go at it entirely unarmed. I don't.
Yeah, I'd rather not. But
I don't think that what we'd rather is something they give two shits about.
fair point.
Which
That
point
was-
from
that was-
the corner, quite observant, young Azamar.
Oh, it.
Yeah, I think you've seen him before, Darvin.
Yeah, and been scared of my gourd both times. That's why I'm like, oh, hi. Sorry, I don't know how to address you. I apologize. I'm trying to be respectful.
Please put the teeth away before you hurt yourself. Okay, Hazel, you can stop drinking now.
I'm very carefully setting my glass down with a hand that's slightly shaking a little.
So I take it we're to be the next entertainment, and you're going to kindly provide us with our weapons and armor now. You're the only reason why they survive anything particularly large or intelligent, aren't you? Looks at you two.
Accurate! Accurate!
Kinda. They usually manage to stumble through, but usually feeling like they fucked up a lot worse than they actually did. Oh,
We're
this
getting
is going to be entertaining. And drops your basically, it does an expansive arm gesture, and your weapons and armor just clunk.
Thank you.
Thanks, but can you please treat some of this a little nicer next time? This is some really bespoke shit. And he actually kind of... This will be entertaining.
I am very rapidly getting my stuff together. Boots on. Armor on.
LSA is just sort of chucking bits and pieces on, and she's a lot calmer about this kind of thing. Well, I don't... Do we have any idea what we're gonna say to Nye when this is over? They have to be making him watch this shit. But at the same time, why do I get the impression that... And I hope he at least tried to broker some kind of warning into this. Even if they turned him down, it'd be something. Then again, these are scary assholes.
It depends on what he says when we find him again.
Oh, I don't imagine it's a matter of finding him. I think it's going to be more a matter of letting us be in the same room as him again. I don't imagine that he would have announced his champion at court. He and she and whatever the hell else. It's a bitch being a warlock. It's gotta be. I mean, at least Celestial Dad is a little less...
Willing to just fuck with you?
I was gonna say capricious, because it's more
That's-
polite.
That's
But you know, at which point, for Ava, Froseth, and Remy, the wall, basically in front of the comfy chairs, goes that sort of glittery that you know is a spell rather than a window opening. And you're seeing the battlefield that you were on, which is remarkably free of blood and brain and other bits of yick that should have been all over the place, given the
Massacre.
you have seen the slayers of dragon spawn. Now meet one of whom has taken on somewhat more than simple babies. Alice A. Featherfall, Darvin Taylor, Hazel Hearthheart. For them, something slightly older. And what appears in front of them is on the larger side.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a lot bigger than what we got.
Remy watches very intently.
Yes, what you have in front of you is a young blue dragon who is looking at you all. Your friends killed my baby siblings. My god already hates you. And you killed 2 of my elders. At which point Alice A pops the wings, and baby makes 3! And although I know we're not there yet, this is probably going to be a bit of a battle, so we're going to take our break early. And when we come back, we will have Team 2 roll initiative and have 3 of you kill a young blue dragon. See you in a couple of minutes. And we're back. Previously, the A team of Ava, Remy, and Froze have managed to dispatch 3 blue dragon wormlings as the opening act, if we like, to some kind of tourney as set up by archfey, apparently, because reasons. Now we have Alice, Darvin, and Hazel faced off against a young blue dragon who Alice, in usual form, has taunted rather a lot. So I'd like y'all to roll initiative, please.
Ah!
Yeah, okay. Apparently, you know, Hazel is terrified as all hell, but as I do keep saying, it's actually not bad to have your healer at the end of the initiative order. And while Darvin's rolls is quite good, Alice rolled a net 20.
Hey!
That's fine. You can at least cheer. Mostly because you're probably going to end up cheering whatever the fuck it is she actually does. So that's let's see. Okay, so that's this can be fun. And Alice say the wings are already out, and okay. Alice is with the wings going to get right up in this thing's face as she does, and she is going to use slashing flourish, which means so first the attack, yeah, that definitely hits. So that's the 12. Stop that. Thank you. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16. No, that's actually equal to your bard levels. So equal to your Asmar levels. So 9, 18, 22, 27 points of damage. She gets kind of up a little, just a little bit with the wings to start massive slash across the front of it. Attack number 2. 16, just hits. So that's 15, 17, 20. Yeah, she's started strong and just 2 great slashes across its front. No bonus actions at the moment, so Darvin.
All right. So I will move. I want to move there. Oop, hang on. There we go.
There?
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
I will go ahead and cast. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. I didn't scroll far enough. Magic Missile at level 2, so it'll be 4 of those. And as I do, he's going to. Darwin shouts out, "I look forward to forgetting you."
Again,
that's
it's one of those
1.
ones that's going to make less sense the more we think about it, but never mind.
That's 2. That's 3 and 4. What the hell are these numbers? 5, 2, 5, 2. My luck, folks.
Max roll, min roll.
That's 14.
Yeah, but it's still, I mean, come on.
The pattern is amusing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bonus action?
Bonus action. Hazel, snap out of your fear. We need some help here. Inspiration die on Hazel.
Okay, so you have a 1d8 to use as necessary. Okay. That's 5 feet wide. Oh, Alice roll well. Alice rolls really well. Or rather, just well enough. Oh god, I'm gonna have to break out the frickin' dice roller again. Sorry.
Just how hard did you just hit?
Well, no, first of all, it's lightning breath, so it's, for a young dragon, it's 10d10.
Yeesh.
Thankfully, she only takes half of that.
Mm.
So that's, ooh, ow, yeah, there's a significant amount of zap, and while Alice manages to miss the worst of it, there are some significant electrical burns. And because, of course, she is the one doing it the most freaking damage, the bite and claw attacks are going to her. Miss. Claw hits, so that's... could be worse. That's another 10 and 11, so that's 21. Yeah, this thing has, at this point, fucked Alice up something fairly significant. But that is kind of what Alice is there for. She is predominantly shot blocker. Hazel!
So is she in the air right now?
A little bit. She's basically hovered up by a couple of feet.
Okay, click boots. And forward to contact Alice. And cure wounds at 3rd level.
Okay, so that's somewhat better. Thank you.
And I haven't taken any hits yet, but blessed healer would happen. And then I'm gonna lure my way over here.
Yeah, you got to be careful when you're around there because there's some spiky shit preventing you from going any further. And from the looks of some of those thorns, if you try to push your way through them, instant and painful death.
Gonna pull the crossbow, put a side bolt in it, and plink.
Roll damage.
And that would be 2d6 psychic because of the dice double.
We'll stick with that, yeah. By all means. So that's 8, 15. Okay. That's pretty much the end of your turn, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, Alice, I mean, still looking pretty banged up and had about as much of that bullshit as she's going to take. She would like to rage.
Hmm.
Yeah, at which point, I think it's only Darwin, unfortunately, and herself that gets the 5 additional hit points of temporary hit points of ice armor, and comes in swinging. Ooh. Yeah, that's yeah, that's gonna be painful for it. 'Cause I forgot the radiant the last time, didn't I? No, I didn't, because I added it at the time. So that's 2d12 cocked. So that's 9, 15, 22. 22, 28, 32. And that's hit 1. Oh, I'm rolling wrong dice. Yep, not as good this time, but actually, it was probably more than fuck it. So that's 7 plus strength modifier 10, 19, 25. Yeah, she has once again pretty significantly fucked this thing up. Basically, still dripping blood and screaming. And some very colorful celestial profanity. Darwin would be taking notes if it wasn't for the whole, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Speaking of which, Darwin.
Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try something I've never tried before, so this is probably not going to work. But what the hell? I'm going to step forward till I get right next to it. Like above it, like here on this side.
Okay.
I don't want to run the risk of running afoul of Alice, say, and getting in her way. And I'm going to reach out and I'm going to touch it and say, may you be as wise as you are pretty, which ain't much, and it's bestow curse with a
Okay.
specific intent. Do you need me to put the
Put
card
up
up?
the spell card, please. You haven't used it before, so.
Okay, just a mo. Oh, I got to recollapse it to do that. What? Oh, it's going to have the thing behind it. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Cast at level 3. Submit. There you go. The
Your attacks and spells deal an extra 1d8 necrotic and.
the effect that I was going for, because I think you can choose one. Well, depending on the nature of the curse, it was where'd it go? Yeah, the wall curse. The target must make a wisdom saving throw at the start of its turn. If it fails, it wastes an action. That's the effect I was trying to go for.
Okay, so what's the spell save DC?
That is 1 second. 14.
17.
Oh well.
17 with a.
I didn't figure it would work. But
+1.
I'd never used it. Why not?
What is
Do you
good
have
effect?
Do you have a bonus action?
Yes, I do. Bonus action on Alice. Alice, you are doing great. Keep it up, and we will master our fate. Inspiration die.
That's not the master I thought you were going for. Watch it.
Oh my god. Remy face
For
palm.
once, my brain didn't go there.
Okay, speaking of which, Dragon has not got his breath weapon back. And Alice has managed, while she's doing that, to... Actually, no, because she's at disadvantage, that's worse. Manages to dodge... Laughing and... Oh. Damn. Yeah, okay, that's gonna hurt. Thankfully, it's not the bites. The bites are bad. It's the claws that are a problem. So that's... So that's now 2d6 plus 5. So that's 6, 11. Two. Actually, no, because if that's 2d6, so that's 4d6 plus. Now. And we're. Okay, so that's. Oh, come on! That's the second natural 20, her, So that's 5, 10. Yeah, unfortunately, that somewhat unfortunate distraction of Darwin's ill-chosen rhyme has managed to, while she dodged the bite, this thing lands on her with both front claws, and Alice is unconscious.
Oh, shit.
Hazel!
Okay. Running over to Alice.
Is that brought her
Hand on-
exactly to 0?
Hand to wherever I can reach. And another 3rd level cure wounds.
That's gonna be poor Hazel's lot in life at this point. It's not my fault the damn thing critted twice, and at least it does it to me sometimes.
So yeah, there's that plus my disciple, which is 5.
So 27.
To a 24, that's plus 5? That's 29.
Huh?
You said 27. Don't confuse people.
That was
No.
going on to the 13.
Yeah, no, it's this is me reminding Ethan to please stop doing other people's maths, particularly when he gets it wrong. Anyway,
So
yes, so Alice, the wings have faded out, and she says, "Oh, thank you. You watch the fucking rhymes." Uh, anything else?
okay. Uh, Screw it. I'm gonna blur around to over here. And this time, hammer. Swing away.
You seem to be aiming for its. No, it's a little late by this point. Yes.
Wait.
He was trying to remind you of the inspiration die after I'd already declared.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Yeah, I
No.
recall I have the inspiration die. I didn't
Okay.
don't want to use it yet.
Yeah, it was a close one anyway. So now he knows. See, that's the thing. Now he knows. Was it a just miss or a no way in hell miss?
So that whiffs.
Yeah, basically you seem to be aiming more or less for the tail, which it out of the way. You think I didn't notice you? You troublesome
I have
little
no idea what he's saying.
gnat. Actually, it's
Is
speaking
this-
it can speak common.
Get off my continent, you giant flapping handbag!
Okay, Alice is no longer raging because recently unconscious. Hurting somewhat less. Going to rage again. Bonus action. Okay, that's fine. That's D12 10 plus 19. Yeah, well, it's looking around at Hazel. Hey, jackass! And as it turns around to look at her, she's just got the blade out. Shunk! It had like 19 hit points. I said baby makes 3, didn't I? There's
Buzz, motherfucker.
there's somewhat louder applause this time. There's I'll say still going and flourishes the blades and takes a bow.
Woo!
Oh, thank the gods.
And at which point, poof, they are back in their previous comfy reception room. And Alice just flops out on one of the chaise longues going, I don't give a shit if I bleed on your upholstery, that's what prestidigitation's for.
Darwin probably stepped over to Hazel to catch her as the boots wear off. Joink. Wait, no.
Yeah,
And-
Alice's got the usual, the similar from I just stopped raging.
Yeah,
Is
but she already
I'm
flopped.
Like leaning on just full on lean flop on Darvin. He's got the
Wait, wait.
entire weight of his hammer and armor on him.
Chair, find her a fucking
There.
chair. Hey, this to the ceiling. This is nice and all, but can we have the rest of our team back, please? That would be really nice. Because Ree's gonna be real pissed. At which point in the room you three are in, probably doing oh thank the gods they survive, followed by oh that
I
went
remember that hurt.
oh yeah there's that polite little hymn from the same corner.
Remy, world's about.
We trust you enjoyed the show.
How was that fair? That dragon was far bigger than.
And you went muted. Marion, you went muted in the middle of that.
Like it.
How was that fair? That dragon was.
It doesn't want you to finish that sentence. It keeps cutting out in the same place.
Oh, I thought that was me.
You've done it again.
It really doesn't want you to speak. You're actually muted. I think it's your headset.
Yeah, is your mic like up there?
Well, it's not. It's my computer mic normally.
Oh, I see.
Is it still cutting out?
Not at the moment, but you haven't spoken for as long as you did the last couple of times, so try it again and see how we go.
How was that fair? That dragon's far bigger than the ones we got.
Yes, you did, however, get more of them, and they did have an experienced dragon slayer among them. And they also had the greater healer.
What happens now?
Well, your presence has been requested by let's be fair, the predominant champion of that little event. Would you like to see them?
Yes.
Please.
And poof, you are in similar spaces. So you've appeared Ava's appeared kind of like literally hovering over Darvin's shoulder. Remy is kind of in the middle of the room as she was before, looking rather sternly at a wall, and Froseth's off in whatever corner he picked up on watching the proceedings, and you are in the same room as the recumbent and still kind of gouged up Alice, the flumped Hazel, and Darvin, who has now gotten Ava just sort of right there.
Remy, world's about. Again. Hurries over to.
Oh, thank God! Thank God you're here. Thank God you're here.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just kind of. Hazel peeled me off the floor. It's fine. I just don't want anyone to waste anything we might need later. I don't know what the hell happens next.
Remy does not look convinced.
Just leave it for a couple of minutes, okay? Just leave it for a couple of minutes.
All right.
You guys did well.
You did amazing.
You got the easier one.
Well, I don't think they're reckoned on your sword and his tats.
Thank you. By the way, Hazel, thank you for the timely intervention there. I was about to, speaking of tats, pop mine, but it wound up not being necessary.
That's what I'm here to do.
The stun would have
Keep
worn
you
off.
alive, and I punch things.
The stun would have worn off by now, by the way. You milked that far too heavily.
I am and the slurring is clearing up as I speak.
Actually, I was gonna thank you for the distraction. That was a hell of a move. And you, by the way, pointing at Remy, that was awesome.
She had things to say about that.
Yeah, that's because I say things. I'm a bard now. I open my mouth and words come out. They are not always the world's most appropriate words, but by the gods, they're entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You need to work on your rhymes.
That was on the spot.
Fate is one of those ones you kind of got to avoid.
Yeah.
Because it edges entirely too close to thing.
Yes, we know.
Well, it was distracting. It's supposed to be distracting it, not me. So that was a thing that happened.
Yeah.
Apparently, we were the opening entertainment of a tourney. I'm like,
No, we were the
or we were the.
main. We were the main attraction. I'm pretty sure.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't pull a young dragon out of its nest for shits and giggles.
I hope not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know from archfey, so I don't know what they would do because. But
Well, they said
we got through it.
something. They said something at the start of it. Our hunters found.
Oh, right. That's right. They did.
Mm.
Oh, that's right.
And we got subjected to it because, well, they had their opening acts while we were loafing about and panicking, and then they threw
Excuse
you
me,
guys.
I was not fucking panicking.
Yeah, loafing about and panicking. You
I
were
was
in the
panicking.
loafing.
I was not loafing. I was waiting. I was tense. I was not panicking.
That was me.
I'm glad I
Yeah,
didn't finish
yeah,
that
okay.
sentence
Alice
the way-
gets to describe her own situation all the time now because she does it way better.
Well, I take offense to the idea that I might have been loafing while, like, friends and, my were off somewhere poofed. And no, that was not loafing. That was
No,
waiting.
that was not.
That was fuming.
Yeah.
That was
Mm-hmm.
a state of hard maintained calm rage.
I was gonna.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I was gonna add rage in there somewhere. Thank you.
Didn't you point that same sort of thing at Crea Bendis?
Probably. But, in this case, if I get too vociferous about it, I'm probably gonna get us or Elf Boy in trouble.
Speaking of, was he with you guys?
Nope.
No, we haven't seen him.
Well,
I figure he's probably with their majesties.
Hmm.
Probably
This
watching all of
is-
this. And if I know him, probably feeling very horrible and thinking that he put us through this, and so like this is his fault in some fashion. It's like
Yeah.
we
I'm
knew what
going
we
to
were getting
jump him
into
in
when
the
we signed up
fray.
with.
Okay, I'm sorry. We knew that we were opening ourselves up to potential problems. We did not know what we were getting into.
Point.
It's like I opened myself up to things with you guys. I didn't know what I was signing up for until you finally decided to tell me, at which point I signed up on board properly, but I got to admit, this is a little bit beyond the pale, Pissing off a god is one thing. I'm apparently really good at that. Getting ported off to fuck knows where to fight dragons for the amusement of fuck knows what. That's a bit of a tricky one.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
I mean, I know his patrons are scary and shit, but he's gotta learn some kind of actual bargaining. And then looks up at the ceiling. I hope some of this was to do with the fact that one of you capricious entities found Hazel's mama, and tutor, because that would actually make things halfway fucking worth it.
Hoping that is kind of why I was not saying quite everything I think right now.
Look, somebody's got to set terms. If he won't
Fair.
do it,
Fair.
at which point the wall through which you were watching
Communication.
the walls through which you watched the fights goes shimmery again, and you get an image of I think it's only Ava that hasn't met either of these women. So for Ava, it's two halflings, one brown hair that has now been cut really, really short, clearly with a dagger. The other one, red-haired, with a kind of tattered bandage across her eyes. Land with a splush in the hot springs at the back of Hearthhome. Kashpoosh.
I'm like pressed up against the shimmery wall at this point.
Can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh, this is gonna suck.
Probably.
Hey. 22.
Well, that means you only take half of the 24 points of psychic damage, so that's 12 points of psychic damage as you make contact and bzzzt. I don't think you're supposed to touch that.
You alright, Hazel?
Remy's glad she didn't try and hit the wall before.
And to be fair, you wouldn't have been as bad off about the lightning breath had Froseth's attack of opportunity not hurt it, because your armor actually makes you lightning resistant. But anyway, I figure it's a timely reminder now. So yeah, okay. So why are we still here?
I don't think they like to explain with the whys.
Hmm. Keep us on our toes, I guess.
We're apparently entertaining.
I'm going to go have another glass of wine. While we wait.
Godspeed.
Anybody else want one?
I'm not moving.
Anybody else want one? I will bring it to you.
I'm good, thank you.
And just kind of half grins.
As Darvin is heading towards the wet bar, he puffs and winds up walking into the wall of the kitchen at Fort Cupcake.
Ow!
Yeah, you guys are still in the room. You just seen Darvin head for the wine and
Oh, for the love of the gods!
at which point Ava and was she sitting or standing?
Probably standing.
Yeah, she is in the sitting room of Fort Cupcake, watching Darvin standing right up against a wall, rubbing his nose.
What happened to you?
I was in motion, and but I wasn't. I don't think it's broken.
Is Hazel still sitting on the floor?
Yep, back up. Yeah, I'm on the floor.
And now she is currently sitting on the hearth rug in front of the fire at Fort Cupcake.
The minute I register where I am, out the door toward and hoofing it towards the.
Wait, well, okay then.
Hoofing it towards where Mama and Lear landed.
I'll handle that in a second. After which, it's like, yeah, okay, it looks like we're heading home one at a time. Fantastic. And Froseth goes next. This is just in his room.
Froseth.
You absolutely delightful chuckle fuck.
Honestly, he was expecting another fight, so.
Too.
Remy turns up outside on the roof of the guest building, which is 2 floors, so.
God.
Remy. She looks up to see how much time has passed. Roughly.
Good point.
Well, keep in mind that given the sun, you don't really know how many days have gone past. It looks like it's been a few hours. You're getting towards the mid-late afternoon.
Okay, Remy misty steps to the ground,
Okay.
and
then sorry.
shouts for Shannara.
It's still a little early for a drow to be out and about.
Well, if she doesn't show up, if she's not, obviously having her, then she'll go inside. She's trying to make contact with somebody.
Yeah. If she walks into Fort Cupcake, which is the closest, she'll find a. Actually, she'll. No, Hazel will have gone by then. She'll probably catch a glimpse of Hazel running as fast as her inactive boots of speed can carry her in the direction of where the hot springs are. When she gets there, she finds Miranda, her hair again cut really really short now, trying to wring out her cloak. Not that I'm not thankful for the rescue, but could have been a little less damp. Hazel! And she's a halfling, she's tired, she's stunned. You both go backwards into the... And Lyra's just... I did miss you, Hazel.
And now I'm trying to lug us both back out because I realized we just landed in the water.
Yeah, you're soaking fucking wet now.
Sorry.
Yes,
Sorry.
Hazel, calm. Please calm. I'm going to get enough of this from Twilly when she finds out what I've had to do to my hair. It's alright. It's alright.
Just so glad you're back.
It's alright. It does the same kind of mama hug she's been doing since Hazel was small. It's alright. It's alright. Now, you or someone is going to have to explain what's been going on here. Because I have a feeling we've missed a great deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And I'd like you to do that before I go and see Twilly. At which point, Lyra sort of reaches out and puts a hand on Hazel's face where she'd first tried to press it into the into the screen that gave her the psychic damage and healed. Now you're going to explain? Preferably somewhere where there's a fire. We finished at Fort Cupcake, didn't we?
Yeah.
Good.
That's awesome.
I'm hoping you lot keep a fire going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite eager to meet the new ones.
You'll like them. I hope.
I'm fairly sure we will. Come on. It's been a bit of a rough, however long it's been. At this point, I've kind of lost track.
Where did you get sent?
Let's not talk about it right yet, Hazel. I'm
Okay.
much more interested in what's going on here.
Okay.
Come on, back to Fort Cupcake so we can dry off so Twilly doesn't have a complete fit.
And yeah, headed back.
Yeah. Remy has gone in by this point, and you've, as Versa, stayed in his room or gone looking for other people? Or...
He'd exit the room.
Yeah. You've got Ava, Darvin, Versa, Hazel, Remy, and now Twilly and Lyra gathered in.
And
hello. Please, I got hugged into the springs.
Okay. Here, let me, and I'll start prestidigitating what I can.
It's fine. I was just going to dry off by the fire.
Oh, okay.
It's been a bit of a strange time, and there's one of the new ones, Lady Vanada.
Oh.
You're
Ava?
muted.
Sorry, that would be me.
Miranda Highheart. Hello.
Pleasure
And
to meet you. I've
this
heard a lot
is
about you.
and this is Lyra Sweetwater. The
Pleasure.
bandage is over her eyes, and this close up you can see just at the edges of them small, what look like acid burn scars.
Ooh. Ouch. I don't. That's not.
She doesn't move like someone who can't see, though. Do you mind if we take a seat? It's been
Oh, please, of course. I go get them blanket.
I think we're fine with the fire, thank you. Given that I have a feeling things have gone a bit pear-shaped around here, I don't want to be too invalid-ish, I suppose. We've survived a bit much to be wrapping ourselves over much in blankets now. There seem to be some missing people.
Yeah, where's Remy? Where's Alice?
Remy goes back outside, starts looking around.
Nuh-uh.
Nice still not around, is he?
Yeah, oh wait, again.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, now I kind of
Does he-
figured wouldn't be with us yet.
How far does Remy wander?
Not out of view of the Fort Cupcake, but like
Let's pull up the appropriate map. Move the players to it. That always helps. So yeah, Fort Cupcake is kind of here. So how far are you looking?
to like down the road.
Yeah. Well, once you get to about there-ish, can you make me a strength saving throw?
Oh no.
Yeah, you kind of wind up with a attempted armful of Alice, and it's not that you can't lift her, it's just you weren't expecting it. So all of a sudden you are a pile of limbs on the rather cold and slightly muddy dirt. Ah!
Hi, Alex.
We really have to stop meeting like this.
Could be worse.
I'm not wearing as much armor as you are. There's jabby
True.
bits in places. Gets up. So, as far as I can tell, Nye is going to be with his Majesty's for a little while longer. Something about bargaining and banquets and fuck only knows.
As long as we're not about to be getting any more surprises from that end.
I said something about that and he just laughed at me. Look, let's just deal with what's in front of us and hope that at least we get the rest of the day. If it's been, like, if it hasn't, like, already been a day, I honestly don't know at this point.
I don't know. I haven't
it's
seen anyone else to ask how long we've been gone. But
Well, let's go back to Fort Cupcake and get ourselves a bit more centered. And I figure, I mean, if it were me that got dumped in a hot spring, and you know, wife of concernedness was waiting in the next house, I'd want to at least go dry off.
yes,
Come on,
Miranda and
let's
Lyra are here and
well, that's
mostly fine, at least.
this is a good thing. Now, come on, let's go and say hello, and at least let them know that we know Nye is as safe as you can be in the company of two archfey who dick with you and your friends for entertainment value.
Yes. That is very true.
So yeah, eventually they come into the house, and Alisay's first word is, "Introductions will wait until after I make these two some tea," and heads for the kitchen. I think we'll save the cooking lessons for another day, Hazel. I'm just gonna put something together that's like food. Miranda looks
Okay.
up. Miranda looks up at Hazel. You're learning to cook.
Uh-huh.
You're always scared to learn from Twilly. You were always so worried you were going to spill something or break something, or did it simply take the right teacher?
Alisay is pretty convincing.
Alisay must have a rather interesting type of patience.
Given the company,
I wasn't going to say, so thank you for doing so. Lyra
I know me. I know us.
Lyra, incidentally, is focused pretty significantly on Remy. Not saying anything, she's just... And of course, you can't really tell where she's looking, but there's that very general sense that her focus is in that direction.
Remy looks at her, but she doesn't want to say anything just yet.
I think while Hazel is getting reacquainted with the family, I'll want to speak to your young friend later, but for now, would you like a private word? I think you would.
If it's not too soon for you.
Come on. Gets up and Miranda, just don't say no to that woman. Just don't do it. She has the most the most convincing look you can have without any actual eyes. And I'll explain that for young Ava here when and shoes Remy in that direction. She had a bit of an accident in our early days. We weren't sure. Some of the minions of this Armageddon cult. She thought there might still be a person in there that she was trying to appeal to, while she had his human self pinned to a wall with a quarterstaff. They spit acid, you know. And because of the height differential, it got her directly in the eyes.
Oh, ouch.
We're not exactly sure what happened, but these days she doesn't see the way we do, but she sees far more than we do. I believe the words that Twilly used at the time was true sight. So if she wants to talk to young Remy, it's probably just while she speaks to young Remy. Speaking of, Lyra sort of settles you two into the prayer room. So, Ziriel has been a bit generous, hasn't he?
Yes. I had talked with the High Priest of Tritherion. Not exactly a long time ago, but before things changed a bit. And she had said I should speak to you about her. I have a bit of a unique situation.
No, you don't. Ziriel is my patron as well. How do you think this happened? Clerics don't get these kinds of favors.
That's a good point.
I am a cleric of Palor. Just I've spent... The powers that I have don't simply come from the worship the way they do with Hazel. Part of why she had to go to Mount Palor for further training rather than staying with me the entire time. I take a great deal of my power from a different source, and it seems to be the one that you will be taking your power from now on. I can more or less see his hand on your shoulder.
He told me that through him there could be a way to heal the corruption in Star Coast, and hopefully that's the only place that'll need to be healed. But
I've seen the Southern Lands. I don't think it's the only place that'll need to be healed. It's just the
Mm.
warm-up. But if he said that, then he meant it. He doesn't lie. He can't.
didn't think he would, but I guess things happened very quickly, but it was
May I
the right
ask?
path,
May I ask a question?
of course.
Why?
I mean, everything we've been called to do, it's been about preserving the hearts and stopping the corruption. But if there's the slightest chance that that can be reversed at the Star Coast or anywhere else, then that's an incredible opportunity.
Okay. Not the whole of the answer, but enough. More than I think you could have given a few weeks ago.
And I was called to stop this by Tritherian, and it's not
When
as if he's the only god at work
when
for
you
all of us.
when you were called, you'd lost people to something unnameable and horrible. The gods call those who are in a place to listen. You wouldn't have listened to another god the same way. You're a very meat and bone sort of person. You need something solid, something tangible. Retribution is tangible, or at least it was when you lost who you lost. But then you lost someone else, and renewal became meat and bone, tangible for you.
Mhm.
But Palor couldn't have reached you the same way that Tritherian did, so he sent someone a little more tangible. I suppose that explains why Tritherian is accepting it as gracefully as he can, I suppose.
Certainly don't intend to disrespect him or anything, and that had been originally what I had wanted to talk to you about, but choices have been made at this point.
And no one begrudges you them. You made an oath to Tritherian, and you will keep it.
I certainly
Just
don't intend to stop what I've been doing.
You're just keeping it in a different way. With a slightly longer term outlook. Tritherian is a very specific goal-oriented god. Liberty, justice, retribution. Once you have it, that's Palor and his servants. A little more long game.
Whatever it takes.
Respect is there for things that grow. If you hadn't shown growth, he wouldn't have bothered. Certainly wouldn't have let Ziriel get involved. If you ever want to call for the solar that provides your power, that's his name.
Hmm.
And your friend screams of him.
Yeah, I don't know how much I want to speak for her, but she has a connection of her own to him.
All right. She's Azamar.
Yes.
Can you tell me about her wings?
They're bright, feathered, glow a bit.
Do they work?
Yep, she flew me up into the air once.
I can actually feel you blushing. It's kind of adorable. She's a protector. Literally. There are 3 kinds. You only really want to meet 2. There's the protectors. They can fly. When they hurt with what they have, they do it with radiant. They're a scourge. Their wings are fire, but they do not fly. They burn the ground around them. Literally. And then there are the fallen. Pray you never meet one. Unfortunately, the first 2 kinds can become the last. I'd be very, very careful. Or are you? I'll see what I can do about the protections that I gave to some of the others.
Careful about what exactly?
You've been in the Southern Lands. You remember the black. What do you think will happen if that gets on her?
I mean, yeah.
You're not going to keep her away from this. You know that. So
That's not possible.
I gave protections to Hazel, to Darwin, to Froseth, to Clarity when she was still with you, to Nora for all she wasn't. There were some things even I couldn't protect her from. Now there's your new friend Alice, and Ava, and Nye. That's going to be interesting, and I'm not sure I can put the same life safeguards into it that I had the others. But I can at least try to make sure that if someone is in contact with that, cleaning it off immediately wouldn't result in some of what we've seen.
We appreciate whatever you can give. I know that you've been through a lot.
You got protection before you even went to Starcoast.
Yes, I imagine that was something from Tritherian.
Holds out her hand. Let me at least see if I can bolster it a little.
Remy takes her hand.
No. The amulet. I'll give it back.
Remy gives her the amulet.
I'll give it back as soon as I can. Besides, you have something similar, and taps where that brand mark is. Tink, tink, tink. Come on, they'll start worrying otherwise. Besides, I smell tea. And as she's walking into the sitting room, I hope someone's been feeding the fairy dragons.
Things have been held down here. Held down.
You don't remember, out of character, you don't remember what happened to the fucking fairy dragons, do you?
No, she's assuming, things are... The fort's being held down
Yeah,
as
but
best it can.
The
They were hanging from trees.
Oh,
Knobs.
those fairy dragons.
Mhm. Which did you think?
Sunshine and
Flitty
Flitty.
or something.
Yeah, so that would make in character sense. But you guys are hearing it, and it's like, okay, you seem calm, but they are. What's going on? What happened to my fairy dragons?
Some of the younger ones expressed not liking the Crown's Guard that turned
Wait,
up.
okay, no, continue.
And they shot them out of the rafters.
You see the lips thin. And I can
And then-
see the and.
And they hung them up in the square on a tree.
The lips thin more.
And unfortunately, Flitty had to see that because we didn't know at the time. And Flitty was scouting, and Flitty came back, and Flitty is okay, but
And from the rafters. Leave a lady! Boom! And into our hood. Okay.
thank you.
Yes, I was informed that things had happened about you, little one. You've been good to them, haven't you? Uh-huh. Right up until the Alice lady turned up, I was the common sense. This in Draconic. And then the Alice lady helped me be the common sense.
Flitty has saved our lives on more than one occasion.
You've been amazing.
And Flitty gave up. Flitty gave up their blue.
I was informed. I wish I had been here. I should have been here. What else is going on? This from Miranda. It is very, very quiet, but you can hear the knives in it.
Well, the Crown's Guard have also set the bow on fire.
And their legs. Oh, go ahead.
Really?
They're laying siege to the shrine.
They bound magic at one point.
Well, we knew they were going to do that.
And oh boy. As it turns out, the Seneschal was in fact a green dragon.
That explains for Lero. That explains why he never came around. He never let me get a look at him.
Although he's been dealt with.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep. We took his head to the town square the next morning to get candor. That started the riot.
You see, the thing that you all seem to be missing is some of this is coming as news to me. I went to get Skylar some medicine for her chest infection. We saw troop movement. We took to the woods to dodge it, and then we were elsewhere.
Okay.
So things like candor and things along those lines. What happened?
They basically took over and had been continuing to arrest people, in the process of one of them, they were planning to execute Candor.
They
He's
came
fine.
to this house.
Yes, they did. They came to this house. They pulled out Skylar. They pulled out Twilly. They pulled out Con.
They're all right. They're all right.
Candor is in the
Keth,
shrine.
actually.
Keth,
They
sorry,
don't.
thank
They
you.
don't even know Con is here.
Right.
Con came back with us.
How did you
We
get
ran
here
into him
this
in-
fast?
Teleportation.
What?
It was complicated.
All right.
That bit specifically.
All right.
Also, we have a drow named Shinira currently in the basement, and okay, I have to get this out right now. She's the villain.
Well, partly.
All right.
Keeping to what. But Kander is safe as far as we know. He's in the shrine. Keth is safe. He's recovering. Skylar is safe. With oh god, with everything I'm blanking on her name. Melora, thank you. Yes, Melora is seeing to Skylar.
Well, Melora is currently more seeing to Baron Langerhan.
Right. Well, I was getting to that.
Yeah.
I was getting to that. Melora helped with Skylar a fair bit, but now also Baron Langerhand is safe. He's here as well. Melora's more seeing to him because he was worse off for obvious reasons, being the Baron and tied to everything. But he's okay. He's safe.
Poisoned, among other things,
and diseased. But everybody's recovering and recuperating as best as can be. And Twilly is as well. So yeah. And the Hearthhearts, Hazel, they're here.
My
Martin,
mother's here.
She's in the encampment elsewhere.
Yeah.
Martin is actually here proper, and he's coordinating things.
Yeah, they're unless days have actually passed and more time's gone by than
I'm gonna go get Martin.
Yeah,
but I know Hazel's probably out the door. So
like halfway.
She just gives up. I'm a little bit. I kind of wanted some time to recuperate from the great bolus of information that you've just dumped upon my head and have maybe 5 minutes to kiss my wife before I had to deal with family I haven't seen in decades.
I'm sorry she ran off before I could grab her.
It's Hazel.
Yeah. Let me think. So Martin is here. Like I said, what I was getting to before Hazel ran off, the Hearthhearts were going to do a midnight raid on the siege line. We were going to, before we were yoinked.
I'm sorry. Why were you yoinked?
It's complicated.
That's nigh.
Don't even try to dance. Alice is handing out tea. Don't even try to dance around it with her. I don't think she'll appreciate it. Let me this time, because you're just flailing at her. You know about Nye's situation as far as power and stuff goes. We have a vague idea. This from Lyra, actually. Well, his patrons offered a boon to Nye, and that boon was to find you. Price was to be determined. Apparently they found you. Or one of them did, I don't know. But apparently the price was for us to serve as entertainment. Lyra's just, is that why you're all covered in gouges? Yeah, and I've got absolutely zero caring about that right this second. They're not bleeding all over everything anymore. It's fine here. So yeah, we got ported to we don't know entirely where. Miranda as well. At least it can't have been the Feywild. You probably have some significant memory problems if you've been dragged through there. So you might have actually been on this plane. but couldn't say, so. But you're all alright. Yeah, we just pissed off yet more dragons. We're really good at that.
Apparently.
Nye, by the way, because I don't think we got there, is apparently conferring with his patrons some more, or attending some kind of feast or some shit. I don't know. He's not gonna come to any harm. I think they're showing him off.
You must love that.
You need to work on your sarcasm voice.
And I think the last part was we were before all that happened. We were on our way to find the local guard and see and coordinate them with the Hearth Hearts and try to get through to the shrine.
Yeah. Just to quickly intercede, Hazel has reached the guest house, clomped up the stairs, and probably barged into Martin's room because Hazel has absolutely zero tact sometimes. It's blah! Can I help you?
So I'm like standing there. You can almost see, even hear the gears whirring in my head. Face palm. I made a mistake, but okay. Miranda's back. Lyra's back. She wanted information from us before she talked to Twilly. I kind of started heading to get you before she went to talk to Mom, and that's... Oh, boy.
Niece of mine. Why don't you tell Miranda that I will be here when she wants to speak to me? Now, what is the information that you wanted?
That I... No, it wasn't that... I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of worse difficulty. It wasn't that I wanted information. I wanted to bring you to talk to her, but just realized that's probably not the best plan immediately. What you just said was gonna be better. I'm sorry.
Has something happened?
No, nothing happened. Just me.
Alright, just tell her that I'll be here if she wants to talk to me.
Okay. And I'm gonna politely excuse myself back down and out.
Okay, it's when you walk back into Fort Cupcake when you realize you could have asked him what day it was.
Yeah.
Hazel
Like,
walks
I'm
through the
just
door.
gonna kind of face palm again and sit down.
Hazel, what did you do?
What didn't you do?
Excuse me. My daughter, I'll take her to task. You'll have your turn when you're on the road.
I told Martin you're here. He said that when you want to talk to him, he'll be up in the guest house. I probably should have asked him what day it was, but
Yes.
forgot in the flailing.
Especially regarding since there's supposed to be a raid still to happen or has happened.
Well, he didn't. If he didn't flag up in anything in a panic or anything, I guess it either hasn't happened or somebody took over. But you'd think he'd ask where the hell we were.
I suppose if we hadn't been seen in several days.
Well, he knew, didn't he, that we were gonna try and coordinate things, and if we didn't come up to him with a status update, and if the raid went south because there wasn't anyone to use the gap in their lines, then I'd guess it's the same day.
No indication it's not yet.
Hazel, you're just a little overexcited. It's been a difficult day.
Yeah.
You're coping with them better than you used to. You're still learning.
Yeah, there's still a lot of flail.
I'll say flags up. Also, just so you know, we've got a couple of other kids. The son of the Baron and Baroness of Gray's Inn, because that was hit by first was it Varadel? The white?
Mm, that's the white one.
It was a white, definitely.
think so.
Well, it's good a name as any until we find out otherwise. But we got him, and that was where we got Shanaira as well. We also have a small silver dragonborn, which I will let Furseth tell you about.
Yeah. My sister, who had saved my life back before I got dropped off at the monastery, has recently been brought back from the dead, but she's at the age she was then.
And Lyra's like, well, that makes a certain amount of sense. Yes, so that's
Yep.
probably a bit confusing for you.
Yeah.
I mean, there are spells that can age people physically, but it wouldn't do anything for a mind. All that would be
No.
doing would be taking years away from her.
But yes, she's been brought back. She's here. We're reconnect. Well, yeah, reconnecting.
Well, actually
But-
connecting, I don't imagine you remembered very much.
Well, yeah, but
It's all right. And Miranda's like, you know that Hearthhome welcomes her as much as it did
Yeah.
you. We'll keep her well when you can't be here.
thank you.
Which I suppose means, oh, good lord, she and Skylar are going to be inseparable.
They
very,
already are.
very likely.
They already are.
Oh?
Hmm.
That'll be very, very interesting to watch. So, let me see if I understand this. We have the Baron safe and recovering. The heart?
It's safe too.
Okay. The Golden Bow is on fire. Probably not anymore.
Mine now, no.
No.
The shrine is under siege. What?
Duini didn't make it.
Oh no.
And neither did Barreras.
Who or what could take down Barreras?
The Seneschal.
At which point Alice says, just to actually say what nobody has said yet, adult green dragon with magic. Set me on fucking fire, and I chopped his head off. At which point Miranda's just Well done. Well done.
She's
Hey.
pretty much our resident dragon slayer.
Yeah, I've had archfey talk to me about that. Just don't even get me started. I'll tell sanitized versions of those for your little ones if you want. Besides, Ree here took down a Dracolich. Crunch right through its skull. It was
And got me
epic.
Yeah.
covered in wyvern spleen
Yeah,
after I was knocked unconscious.
She took down 2 wyverns.
There is that.
Serious. Remy is some kind of spinning blade arrangement, and so is Alice, and they go after things, and stuff just flies apart every time they come in contact with it.
Yeah, and you keep us all up off the ground. Except when I occasionally step in.
Having help doing that has been awesome.
Thank you for making me feel better.
Seriously. More people, having more people who can help everyone stay up has been awesome.
Yeah,
So much awesome.
I've got a little more than I used to. I can speak the healing as well as whatever bit I have just because I'm me. And then there's Ava with her own heal spells and Ree with hers. And I think poor Ferocith's the only one who's only potion based. Oh, sorry. Well, yeah, but no, you've still got.
Oh, right. That's I was thinking healing, and that doesn't. It's not really for that, but yeah, splitting hairs.
Excuse me. Remember, kept me alive while I was on fire. It counts. Miranda's just great. You're going to have such interesting stories to tell my children. I should probably go and see Twilly, but I'll tell you what. Why don't I go and get Twilly, and you can go out behind the barn, and you can have like 10 minutes, just you and your wife behind the barn, and then you can go and be mobbed by kids. How's that sound? I think I understand why they stick with you, dear. Thank you very much. Onward. Which leaves you guys and Lyra. So, if the shrine is out, I hope there's still room in the guest house. Say it.
I would like to talk with you soon.
Prayer room, now, please.
Eep.
Actually, just grabbed him by the collar.
Yeah, I was just like, great, okay.
It was a little bit difficult because halfling, but
Yeah.
he tries. I can see something.
Yeah, I don't.
It's not what you think.
That was actually going to be my question. I was just trying to figure out how to word it. Like, how do I tell? Because
It's something you know, not. Something will become clear to you. It's probably
Okay.
clearer to me because I'm not seeing it with eyes.
Okay. Now,
It's not the sun. Or if it is, it's the sun reflecting off something metallic.
okay, this is going to be a silly question, but with our luck, I gotta ask, it's not bad, right?
Metallic wings.
No. I need to talk to Skylar.
You might need to speak to the one who was raised in that faith.
Right.
Who's only just recently been returned to this plane.
Oh!
It takes so much work trying to get you to see these things yourself. It's
I'm trying to.
it's kind of like dealing with Hazel all over again.
Yeah, I'm trying to do better. In my defense, I've yet to make the same mistake twice. I think.
Remember, Skylar hasn't been fully raised yet, but the faith that she's been raised to is the humanoid faith.
Hmm.
Froseth was denied the faith of his family. But I can't imagine that a silver dragonborn in a silver dragonborn settlement was raised solely in humanoid devotions. We haven't had the Song of Bahamut in our Song of the World for a very long time. We'll probably be adding it now for more than one reason. Originally it was two little girls. Now it's 3. Dawn's still fine, by the way. The gods apparently... If you reach out with a whole heart, they seem to flock.
Thank you.
I seem to have a fair bit of guidance to provide to just about everybody around here. It's what I more or less run the shrine, and it would be nice to return Bahamut to the fold. Although I think to do it properly, we're going to have to oust we're going to have to oust Jine or Rand, the whatever number he really is. But you're working on it, I can tell. Going to need to work up to it, though.
Right now, well, never mind. You can pretty well guess our main focus right now is to get here set, stable, situated, and go from there.
No. You can get us started, but that's not your goal is not to sit, to stay. Not even for a short... The next time you stay will be a rest. But we don't have what we need. And while we can hold to a point, and particularly now that we've taken the gloves off, we don't need a group of adventurers who can travel, who have allies they can turn to, who have people they can speak to. We need armies. Hazel doesn't like to talk about it, but she has a connection to a diplomat in the Elven Wilds. It's not a pleasant one, but it can still be exploited. There may still be pockets in Gray's Inn that can be gathered. There could be Cragveer. If we can get a message, and you've got any way of getting a little bit of extra from... I saw a magic on Hazel, a returning magic. So if we could get you there, to various places in Equitas, we could at least get something else here, or some research, some better tools. I saw the potential. I don't channel the same way that Remy does. I am not of the blade, but I could see the potential in hers, and It was Jenna at the core.
Yes.
There were things out there that she couldn't make. Powerful things. Just not bladed weapons necessarily. There might be some information in Twilla and Miranda's library downstairs or something I couldn't say, but there are things out there. Things deep under, things in the woods and wilds, mountains, streams, and just about anywhere else. They could help you. And I think that if you looked for them, you might find things that would eventually lead to being able to seal Tiamat in more securely. I don't think that Miranda's ready to scare people about this yet. But you are adventurers, so I will tell you. We were in Avernus. And she was never particularly strongly shackled there, but she's found a way to let part of herself through. Your blonde woman. And that has power enough. But she is strengthening and growing that door. You need to close it. If you can't do it before she gets out, which is possible, you need to shove her back into it. Her ruling of Avernus is bad enough. Shackling her down there would be better. But either way, you aren't meant to linger here and raise a revolutionary army. The gods have tapped almost all of you on the shoulder. You're called to bigger things.
Understood.
Now, I'm not going to let that poor battered Azamar cook lunch all by herself.
Thank you.
Don't thank me, I'm letting you tell the rest of them.
And Turpin walks back out.
Lyra, you have the distinct privilege of watching Alice get bullied out of the kitchen by somebody half her height. Okay.
Witness.
Is that definitely something?
It's weird she screams of mom. Not my mom, but you know. Okay, you have face.
They were in Avernus.
Huh?
Have I heard of that? Probably not.
Who's heard of that?
Arcana check? Actually, Remy would have. I'm pretty sure.
I've definitely.
Remy and
Twilly.
Hazel. Remy and Hazel have heard of that. Alice has heard of that, and she's just like, ooh, shit.
16?
Yeah, come on, it's hell. It's the first level of freaking hell.
Whoa. Step back.
What are you doing? Wait.
Who's in Avernus?
No, they were.
Was
What? They
They were in
were.
Miranda.
Great.
Yes.
Lyra. Actually, first I
Oh,
can roll
boy.
religion. Give
Yeah,
me
they
a
were in
chance.
one of the 9 hells. If the stories about it are not fun, it's part of an
That
eternal
much-
war. It's a mess.
Yeah, that much I understand.
Okay. So I gather they don't really want to talk about it too much, but you know more than that. Let the man talk, guys.
Tiamat is widening the way out. And with her connection to Froseth Hazel, you'll remember the blonde at Star Coast.
So wait, is she the blonde, or is that just someone she's connected to?
From what Lyra said, you're pretty sure it. There is no blonde woman that is not Tiamat. It's just that that's not all of Tiamat's power
Right.
channeled into that shell. It's a shell that's got as much of Tiamat in it as will fit.
Yeah, it's not quite that. She's sort of a shell that Tiamat's put as much of her into that is possible given the circumstances.
So an avatar.
Kind of, not quite.
Oh boy.
She
For lack of
is to Tiamat almost what Shannira is to Zavillan, or would be if Zavillan was able to channel more divinity into Shannira.
That sounds about right.
Okay.
Thank you. So, but she's widening it, and we have to get a move on, and either lock her down before the door is open, or if she manages, we are going to shove her back in and lock her down until hell freezes over.
Okay. How do we do that?
That's the question.
Well,
that sounds fun.
you've got Scale Splitter and Blacksbane. There's got to be more of that kind of thing out there.
Yes.
But first thing that needs to happen, to be fair, is it's going to be on. One of the main things we've got to do is take down her allies here on the mortal plane, because they'll be doing anything they can to help. Which means we've got to be there to take down the black. We'll start with the black, because that'll be one less thing to worry about, but what we're going to need from that is armies.
Yep. That was the other part I was getting to. The Lyra.
Where do we get one?
Well, what do we? What connections do we have?
I'm going to point at Ava.
Looks over. I look. I know. I'm looking right at Hazel.
Why are you
Well,
looking at
if
me?
we had several chestfuls of gold.
Ava, she's looking at you, because if we can get your half-sister off the throne of Cedar Grove,
You're the next.
it's not so much that she's the next, although, I guess she could be if she wanted. It's more that if she proves that the woman on that throne shouldn't
It's
be
not
there,
me.
then at the very least she can convince the armies of Cedar Grove to help. But I think, Hazel, your mother was somebody important.
Yeah, I'm looking right at Hazel.
Haughty, knife-eared bitch, yeah.
If she was close enough to hear to know what happened here, enough to know about the Hearthhearts, she's got to be a liaison between the humans here and the elves there.
Hazel, I don't want to say it, but we have to at least try to reach out to every connection we might possibly be able to exploit, regardless of how tenuous or how distasteful it might be.
And honestly, talking to the elves of the Elven Wild is going to be easier than fighting through an army to get to Ava's half-sister.
What about the Five Claws? They're governors. They have their
They
own
can't.
kingdoms.
Well, they can't. They can't directly intervene, or they
Yeah.
would have by now. The best
Well-
we can potentially do is information, weapons, artifacts, and we don't
Something.
know. We don't know if we can still get there easily, but it's something to keep in mind.
Beyond that,
Furseth,
maybe.
people up north, Cragveer, dwarves, right?
Yeah.
They can't possibly like any of this shit.
Very be surprised.
I would assume not.
Yeah, well, and also there may be pockets in Gray's Inn still, as well. Unlikely, but it's a shot.
Okay, we're gonna have to sit down, try to have some chill, and try to have some lunch in a minute, but very late lunch. But anyway, one last thing. This isn't for now, exactly, but Ree, I think it's about time we told him the whole conversation with Solar Dad.
What did you have in mind exactly?
Alright, I'll just say it. Because Ree has apparently a sieve memory at the moment. Starcoast.
Oh. Yes, that
Ree
bit of
here.
information from your father.
Ree here made a bit of a deal with the Solar who made me. Ree follows that particular path. And between us, her, me, Hazel, we will eventually develop the power to renew the heart of Starcoast, to bring it back. She did that. And she just
Dear sweet pig,
puts a hand puts a hand under
Hazel.
Darvin's chin and shuts his mouth.
Yeah. At which point, Darvin just gets up, walks right over to Ray, and just goes, "Glom."
Aww. And he hugs him.
Oh,
And you just got Alice sitting there just grinning at Clemmy.
I don't know if it'll happen. I don't know if it's possible, but even just the chance. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
If he says it's possible, then. But it's
I can't get my hopes up.
one day at a time. Right now, we have a lot of
Right.
we have a lot ahead of us. As
Right.
is.
Right. Yeah, I'll sit back down.
Yeah, so where do we have to go first?
Well, I think the very first thing we do is, hey Flitty from Lyra's collar. Well, you're an adventurous kind of fairy dragon. Hmm? That for Darvin, that's a yep. Do you know where the soldiers used to hang around? Uh-huh. Their booze smelled really nasty.
Oh dear.
I'll take that as a yes. Flitty, if we write a note saying all the information that Martin's people need, and if you avoid town, so you don't have to look at the tree, can you get that message to them? On one condition. Okay. When you're going on your adventures, I want to come with you. And you got Lyra looking at Flitty. I'm not sure whether I raised you right or not. I've been with them this far.
I think I speak for everyone. I say we wouldn't dare leave you behind.
of course not.
Dude, no way. You're like you're more us than I am. Okay, then if also on the condition that the Alisair lady writes the letter because she needs to teach the Bard man more words.
At which point I'm like head on the table, just laughing my ass off because I'm just like, that's fair. That's totally fair.
And because Darvin can't speak, Lyra translates. Okay, somebody want to give me some parchment so that I can write this before food happens because I have lost an awful lot of the red stuff today. Thanks, Hazel, by the way. Ruffle, ruffle. And she hasn't even bothered with prestidigitation, so she's just. And on
And
that,
You need to wash up and rest up.
and
First-
I'm respecting her space to
first-
not.
okay, here is my thing. First letter, then food, then bath. How about we make a deal? I will accept healing from. Then Lyra's like, don't worry, I'll get it. If I can have some company, I may need someone to help with the hair.
Of course.
And then we can decide exactly how we proceed on to the next adventure. And on that note, we are a little bit past time. I mean, it's weird for me because I'm having to... But this is the only week we're going to have to do it. So that's okay. Anyway, we will return in 2 weeks for the decision on what the next adventure is going to be, which is probably going to be sneaking through Cedar Grove and heading straight for the Elven Wild. See you in 2 weeks, guys.
Bye.